Alright, let's get real for a second. The moon landing hoax theory. You've heard it, I've heard it, and chances are your uncle has a whole folder about it on his computer. But what does NASA actually say when people claim Apollo 11 never happened? Let's dig into the facts, the myths, and the downright wild ideas. First up, the big one. If we really went to the moon, why haven't we gone back? NASA's answer: it's not because it was fake. It's because it was incredibly expensive, dangerous, and honestly, after the initial missions, public interest and government funding faded. Space exploration is hard, and once you've planted the flag, politicians tend to think, mission accomplished. Now, the famous flag waving. You've seen the videos. The flag looks like it's fluttering. People say, no wind on the moon, so it must be a studio. But NASA's response? There's a horizontal rod holding the flag up. When the astronauts twist it into the ground, the fabric moves and ripples. And with no air resistance, those ripples keep going. It's physics at play, not a hidden fan. What about the shadows? Critics point to weird long shadows and ask, isn't that studio lighting? NASA explains. On the moon, you've got sunlight reflecting off the ground, the astronauts' white suits, and the lunar module itself. All that bouncing light creates unusual shadows. If you actually measure the angles, they match what you'd expect outside, not under studio lights. Here's another classic. Why aren't there any stars in the photos? Simple answer: camera exposure. The astronauts needed to use fast shutter speeds because the moon's surface is so bright. That means the faint light of stars doesn't show up. If you've ever tried taking a photo of the night sky with your phone, you know how tricky that can be. One more. How did the astronauts survive the Van Allen radiation belts? NASA's engineers designed the Apollo spacecraft to zip through the belts quickly, minimizing exposure. The total radiation dose was actually pretty low, like having a couple of chest X-rays. Not exactly superpowers, but definitely survivable. Now look, skepticism is healthy. I get it. Science is all about questions. But when you actually dig into the details, the moon landing hoax falls apart. All the gotchas have scientific, well-documented answers, and the evidence, from thousands of engineers, telemetry data, and even retroreflectors left on the moon that we can still bounce lasers off today, is solid. So next time someone says, the moon landing was faked, ask them, which part exactly? And are you ready to dive into some real science? Because for all its mysteries, the moon landing is one giant leap that really did happen. Stay curious, keep questioning, but don't forget to check the facts.